Your 20s are wild. One second you're a teenager with no responsibilities. The next you're Googling, how much do kidneys sell for because rent is due? Nobody warns you that being an adult is just endless emails, bills, and wondering if you're technically too old to be this broke. And nobody, literally nobody.
Nobody likes you when you're 23.
And yet, somehow, some people have their lives together. How? Did they get a PDF guide at birth? Do they have a secret rich uncle? So if you've ever felt like you missed the memo on how to adult, don't worry. Let's expose the biggest scam of your 20s. This idea that it's fine, one day my life will just work itself out. Well, I hate to break it to you, but there is no magical figuring it out phase. You don't wake up at 30 with a 6-figure salary, a gym habit, and emotional stability just because you waited your turn. Because if you're out here thinking, don't worry, future me will handle it, buddy, future you is just you, balding and stressed, have no more energy to figure things out and probably busy paying out debts. Meanwhile, the people who have their life together aren't waiting for motivation. They're out there making questionable decisions, but at least they're making moves. And you're here still thinking about it? Still planning? Still waiting? What exactly are you waiting for? So now that we've established that waiting around and overthinking are basically just self-sabotage in disguise, let's talk about the first real step to getting your life on track. Stop trying to find yourself. Yeah, I said it. That whole, I just need time to figure out who I am thing sounds deep, but let's be completely real. It's often just an excuse to avoid making decisions. You're not a lost iPhone. There's no magical version of you just out there waiting to be discovered. The people who look like they have their life together, they didn't find themselves. They built themselves. They made decisions, tried things, failed miserably, and adjusted along the way. Meanwhile, if you're still sitting there waiting for clarity before you start anything, you just signed up for another year of overthinking. So here's a thought for you to bring in the shower. What if, instead of waiting to discover your purpose, you just picked something and went all in? What if your dream job, your passion, your best self wasn't something you needed to figure out, but something you could create step by step? And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying just do anything, bro. But if you're stuck, just start somewhere. Anything. Take a class. Apply for that job you feel unqualified for. Start that side hustle you keep overanalyzing. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need momentum. Because the people who actually find themselves, they weren't waiting. They were busy becoming. But I get it. Sometimes you don't even know where to start. Sometimes it's not about avoiding decisions. It's about feeling completely disconnected from yourself. And when that happens, forcing answers doesn't help. You have to let yourself sit with it, process it, and listen to what's going on inside. Because finding your way forward isn't always about pushing. It's also about understanding. Being in the 20s is strange. There's this weird phase in your 20s where you feel like you should have everything figured out, but at the same time, you have no idea what you're doing. There's this strange silence that comes with feeling lost. It's not loud, not chaotic. It's just there, sitting with you, stretching into every moment, filling the spaces between who you are and who you thought you'd be by now. Some days it feels like you're running out of time. Other days it feels like time doesn't even exist, like you're drifting through life without direction, without urgency, without meaning. And you don't even know what you're waiting for. You watch people around you move forward with their new jobs, new cities, new lives, new relationships, and you start to wonder if you're falling behind, if you missed something along the way, if you were ever even on track to begin with. And then the overthinking hits you, the endless loops of what-ifs and should-haves that make you question everything. Should you be doing more? Should you be somewhere else? Should you be someone else? And when I feel like that, I don't try to force clarity. I don't scramble for answers. I just sit with it. I let the questions come, even the ones that scare me. I have these deep, unfiltered conversations with the version of me inside, the one that doesn't have to explain anything to anyone, the one that doesn't have to perform, impress, or prove anything. Just me, having a conversation with me. And no, it doesn't always lead to some life-changing revelation. Most of the time, I walk away with just as many questions as I started with. But somehow, just talking and listening to myself brings me peace. Because maybe the point of feeling lost isn't to fix it. Maybe it's not something that needs a solution. Maybe it's something you go through, something that stretches you, deepens you, makes you more aware of yourself in ways certainty never could. Maybe being lost isn't proof that you're failing. Maybe it's proof that you're becoming. Because think about it. If you had every answer, if you always knew exactly what to do, how would you ever grow? How would you ever discover anything real about yourself? The most important shifts in life don't come when things make sense. They come in the in-between, the waiting, the wandering, the quiet moments where you feel like nothing is happening, but everything actually is. So if you're feeling lost right now, don't fight it. Don't try to rush out of it. Just let it be. Let yourself exist in this space without needing to fix, prove, or force anything. Because one day, when you least expect it, you'll look back and realize that the version of you who felt so lost was actually finding their way all along. Feeling lost is fine, maybe necessary in your 20s. What's not fine is that if you let that feeling stopping you or making you stuck somewhere. And when you're ready to start something, here comes the part nobody tells you. You're going to suck at it at first, and that's fine. Actually, it's necessary. This is where most people get stuck. They try something new, they're bad at it, and then their brain goes, well, guess I'm just not meant for this, and they quit. But think about it. Do you know why some people seem naturally good at everything? Because they let themselves be bad at things long enough to improve. That's it. No secret formula, no special talent. Just uncomfortable, embarrassing, ugly first attempts that eventually turn into skills. You don't believe me? Fine. Think about the first time you tried literally anything. Walking, talking, even texting. You were garbage at it. You probably sent your first text like, "Hi," with smiley emoji, "How are you?" with 0 punctuation and a cringe emoji. But you got better at texting because you kept doing it. And now look at you, typing at lightning speed, sending voice notes like a podcast host, maybe even gaslighting your autocorrect. So pick something, embrace the beginner's cringe, and let yourself to be bad at it for a while. Every single person who's great at something today was once a beginner who looked stupid doing it. The only difference between them and everyone else is that they kept going. Because nobody figures out their 20s just by sitting around thinking about it. The people who seem like they have it all together, they don't. They just started moving before they felt ready. But starting doesn't mean YOLOing your entire savings into crypto or quitting your job on impulse. It means taking smart, intentional first steps. If you want to start investing, learn the basics first. If you're thinking about switching careers, start building skills on the side. If you want to be healthier, fix one small habit before overhauling everything at once. And before we wrap up this part, let's be completely real for a second. If you're sitting there thinking, but I don't want to start because it'll be embarrassing, buddy, just look at this video. The whole thing is made with cheap Canva hand-drawn animations that are probably lower resolution than your childhood YouTube videos. If you spot a janky transition or a stock image that looks like it was made in 2009, yeah, just close your eyes and pretend it's intentional. But guess what? I'm still doing it. Because if I waited for everything to be perfect from the beginning, this video wouldn't even exist. And if by next year the visuals are still this horrible, I'm officially giving you permission to absolutely roast me. Full-blown public humiliation. Maybe I'll even make a whole video where I read your most brutal insults out loud. This isn't a promise to you. It's a promise to myself that I'll improve as time goes by. So yeah, if I can put out this beautifully tragic hand-drawn animation and survive, you can take the first step on whatever you've been holding back on. No more excuses. Let's keep going. All right, now that we've obliterated the mindset of waiting for you to be a master before doing something, let's talk about something even more dangerous. Thinking you're rich when you're actually broke. Because nothing derails your 20s faster than lifestyle inflation. You know the drill. You finally start making real money, and suddenly your taste in everything upgrades overnight. You got a little raise at work, and boom, your coffee order just went from black, no sugar, to an iced oat milk caramel matcha with vanilla cold foam and a gold-plated straw. You just got a new job? Well, clearly you deserve a nicer apartment, a better car, and that overpriced gym membership you're definitely not using. And because of this, you're still living paycheck to paycheck, just in a slightly fancier setting. This is what destroys most people's finances in their 20s. It's not that you're not making enough money, it's that the second your income goes up, your spending follows like an over-attached ex. And without you even realizing it, half of your expenses aren't even for you. You're just trying to keep up, look successful, and flex for people who don't really care. So, what to do with the money then? Well, pay yourself first. Before you even think about spending, take a chunk of your paycheck and put it away into savings, investments, anything that actually builds wealth. Start small if you have to, even if it's just $10. Because guess what? The amount matters less than the habit. And if you don't build the habit now, it doesn't magically get easier when you make more. Your 20s aren't about looking rich. They're about setting yourself up so that by your 30s, you don't have to stress about money at all. So, stop funding a lifestyle you can't afford and start funding your future. And if you want a full breakdown of how lifestyle inflation is silently robbing you, check out the video in the top right corner. Let's keep going. Have you ever caught yourself justifying someone's bad behavior with, "That's just how they are"? Yeah, well, that's just how your life gets ruined. Keeping toxic people around is like carrying a brick in your backpack. It slows you down, it messes with your posture, and eventually, you don't even notice the weight anymore. Until one day, you realize you're exhausted and going nowhere. Your 20s are about getting your life together, not babysitting grown adults who bring nothing but drama, jealousy, and bad vibes. And no, cutting them off doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you someone who respects their own energy. If someone's constantly making you feel small, doubting yourself, or holding you back, ask yourself, would I let a stranger treat me like this? If the answer is no, then why are you giving them VIP access to your life? You don't need to send a breakup text or write a whole speech. Just detach. Stop feeding the connection. Stop showing up for people who wouldn't do the same for you. Put your energy into friendships that actually fuel you instead of drain you. And if you're thinking, but I don't have better friends yet, congratulations. That means you've got space to find them. Think about it this way. 5 years from now, when you're actually thriving, do you want to look around and see the same people who doubted you? Or do you want to be surrounded by people who actually believed in you before you even made it? Your future is shaped by who you keep close, so choose wisely. So you've started cutting out toxic people. Good. Less drama, more peace. But let's be real now. Removing negativity from your life isn't just about the people around you. It's also about the way you treat yourself. You can't talk about getting your life on track while running on 4 hours of sleep, 3 energy drinks, and a diet that consists of instant noodles, caffeine, and coping mechanisms. Your body is literally keeping score. And if you think you can get away with treating it like a rental car, just wait until it starts sending you warning lights. That constant brain fog, the way you always feel exhausted no matter how much you rest, those random aches and pains even though you're too young for them? Yeah, that's not bad genetics. That's years of bad habits catching up. And the crazy part is that it doesn't even take decades for this to happen. Some people are already feeling it in their mid-20s. And by 30, they either look like they have their life together, or like they've been through 5 divorces and a stock market crash. And let's talk about stress. If you think pushing yourself to the limit and running on burnout makes you productive, I have bad news. It actually makes you worse at everything. Your memory, your focus, your mood, your ability to handle life. All of it takes a hit when your body is in survival mode 24/7. And if you're constantly getting sick or feeling drained, that's not normal. Your body is literally waving a red flag, and ignoring it won't make it go away. But I got a good news for you. Fixing this isn't about making huge, unrealistic changes overnight. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. and drink celery juice while meditating for an hour. You just need to start respecting your body enough to give it what it actually needs. Move for at least 30 minutes a day, even if it's just a walk. Eat something with actual nutrients. Not because you should, but because you deserve to feel good. Sleep like it's a non-negotiable. Well, because it is. And if your mind is a mess, maybe it's time to stop suppressing everything and start actually working through it. Therapy, journaling, talking to someone, whatever helps you unload the mental weight you've been carrying around. I know the importance of taking care of mental health in your early 20s. I lived through it. I made attempts 4 times, so I know how bleak depression can be. And honestly, I can't give you a perfect solution for dealing with it, because, to be honest, I didn't know how either. The only thing that kept me going was a kitten named Ozzy. I wanted to see him grow up, and when he did, I couldn't save him the way he saved me. Maybe this is the only thing I can share with you if you're dealing with it now. Find something to fight for. Find something you want to see grow. Just like I fought my Dementors to see Ozzy grow up, and just like J.K. Rowling fought hers to bring Harry Potter to life. Because at the end of the day, your energy and mental health are everything. You can't build a life you love if you're too exhausted or too drained to live it. Your 20s are strange. You're old enough to see the world for what it is, but young enough to still feel lost in it. Some days, you feel unstoppable, like everything is finally making sense. Other days, you're just existing, going through the motions, wondering if this is all there is. And the weirdest part is that no one really prepares you for this. Nobody tells you how lonely it can feel to outgrow people you once thought would be in your life forever. Nobody warns you that the dreams you had at 18 might not fit you at 25. Nobody explains that healing isn't just one big breakthrough. It's quiet, slow, and sometimes so subtle that you don't even realize it's happening. But if there's one thing you should know, it's this. You are not as lost as you think you are. Just because you don't have a perfect map doesn't mean you're not moving forward. Growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it's in the little things, the way you set boundaries, the way you start valuing your peace, the way you slowly stop trying to prove yourself to people who were never really watching. So give yourself some credit. You are figuring things out, even if it doesn't feel like it. And one day you'll look back and realize that even in the moments you felt the most lost, you were still finding your way. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. If you found anything valuable here, smash that like button. And please remember, always take care of your physical and mental health. And I'll see you again in